building a better Bay Area. Moving forward, finding solutions. This is ABC 7 News.
Now at 9, more calls for change after the brutal beating and death of Tyre Nichols. Details on protests expected later today. A frost and freeze warning across the Bay Area. We're tracking these cold conditions and some spotty showers on the way. And it is finally Championship Sunday. The 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles for their shot at the Super Bowl. A look at how the 49er faithful are gearing up for the big game today. Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, January 29th. I'm Liz Koritz here with Lisa Argin. Thanks for joining us. We do have a big day ahead, Lisa, and weather in Philly actually maybe even sort of warmer than here in the Bay?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, Lisa, thank you. There will be a call to action across the Bay Area today. It comes in reaction to the brutal beating and death of Tyre Nichols at the hands of Memphis police officers. Protests continue in various cities around the country with more planned for today. So far, they have all been peaceful. You can see here in New York, Atlanta, Boston, and Memphis. ABC 7 News reporter Terry Campbell spoke to organizers of events planned for today in both San Francisco and Oakland. And there will also be a candlelight vigil for Tyre at Regency Skate Park in Sacramento tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Nichols was from Sacramento originally, but moved to Memphis a couple of years ago. The family says the vigil is not a protest, but a time for healing, love, and closure. A GoFundMe page started by Tyre Nichols' mother has already raised nearly $1 million. The page was created on Friday to assist the family with memorial expenses. Some of that money will also go to the family's costs for mental health services and time off of work, and for the construction of a memorial skate park for Tyre. Okay, now to the latest in the mass shooting in Half Moon Bay. The Chronicle is reporting the farms involved in the shooting did not have the permits to house workers. The living conditions have been under scrutiny following Monday's mass shooting that left 7 people dead and another injured. San Mateo County officials have opened an investigation. Some have described the living conditions as deplorable, and a county supervisor got a close-up look at them on Friday. The suspected gunman also worked at the farms and made his first court appearance last week. Hundreds of people turned out on Friday night for a vigil in Half Moon Bay. And so many people have been asking how they can pitch in and support the grieving town of Half Moon Bay and those affected. You can consider donating to Alas. This nonprofit has been supporting the farm worker community since 2006 and has set up a Half Moon Bay Strong Fund. You can go to our website, abc7news.com/take-action for a link, or visit alasdreams.org. It's spelled ALAS. All right, new developments with Oakland Police Chief LaRon Armstrong being placed on leave. Our media partners at the San Francisco Standard report the Alameda County District Attorney's Office is now involved. Their office is looking at the sergeant at the center of the case that led to Armstrong being put on leave. The officer reportedly fired his gun in the police department elevator and tried to cover it up. The chief was put on leave last week for how he handled disciplining the sergeant and has been fighting to get his job back. Happening today now, the NFC Championship game. The 49ers are just one win away from a trip to the Super Bowl. Some of San Francisco's most iconic buildings were all lit up in red and gold on Saturday night in support of the Niners. Salesforce had been showing off the rabbit, marking the Lunar New Year, but it changed up the look for the big game today. City Hall, of course, was lit up in red and gold colors last night. And you can see Coit Tower there also sporting 49ers colors. It's been cycling through them red and then gold. And 49er faithful are getting pumped up with less than 3 hours now before today's big game in Philadelphia versus the Eagles. There was a rally held on Saturday for Niners fans flying to Philly. ABC 7 News reporter Cornell Bernard was at SFO for that big send-off. All right, Lisa, thanks. Also ahead, a memorial for Oakley's Alexis Gabe, the next steps for her family. And Save the Seats, why protesters were rallying in San Francisco's Castro district this weekend. A man who drove his car off a cliff in San Mateo County earlier this month was officially arrested on Friday. 41-year-old Dharmesh Patel was released from the hospital and taken into custody on suspicion of attempted murder. Investigators say Patel intentionally plunged his Tesla over a cliff at Devil's Slide with his 7-year-old daughter, 4-year-old son, and wife inside. He is currently being held without bail and could be in court tomorrow. It has been 1 year since the disappearance of 24-year-old Oakley woman Alexis Gabe. For months, Gabe's family had been trying to find their daughter, who police say was killed by her ex-boyfriend and then dismembered. Her partial remains were found in Amador County last November. On Saturday, marking nearly 1 year to the date since she was murdered, her family held a memorial in her honor. ABC 7 News reporter Ansar Hassan was there.
The family of Alex.
Okay, now to the latest in the FTX bankruptcy scandal. Federal prosecutors say the disgraced crypto executive Sam Bankman-Fried has recently tried to contact potential witnesses in his criminal cases. In a letter to the judge, prosecutors asked to change the conditions of his release to order Bankman-Fried not to contact or communicate with current or former FTX or Alameda employees. They also ask for Bankman-Fried not to use any encrypted messaging apps. Prosecutors say they are concerned about an effort to influence potential testimony. Bankman-Fried is currently living at his parents' house in Palo Alto while out on a $250 million bond. He has pled not guilty to federal fraud charges. A small protest took place this weekend over the planned renovation of San Francisco's historic Castro Theater. ABC 7 News was there yesterday as a group called Save the Seats rallied against the new proposal outside the theater. This plan calls for ripping out seating so that a motorized dance floor can be installed for events like concerts. Last year, a plan to rip out seating received considerable backlash. Another Planet Entertainment, which manages the theater, says this is the only way to keep it open. Those against the plan say the theater has a special meaning to the Castro.
That this historical movie theater is important to gay people around the world, and we support everyone who wants to show movies here. Let's save the seats, save the Castro.
There is a hearing planned for next week about the plans to renovate the theater. Members of the Asian community gathered in San Francisco yesterday to remember a Thai immigrant who was killed roughly 2 years ago in a hate crime.
Exhale.
84-year-old Visha Ranapakdi was walking in the Anza Vista area when he was forcefully pushed to the ground and died. Many remember the video. It went viral at the time. Some community members shared their experience with hate crimes at this vigil. Then they joined in a special lantern gathering to honor Visha. His daughter says she wants more unity.
We would like everyone to stand together, and we are here to stay in love, solidarity, and strength.
This is part of an ongoing effort for San Francisco to prevent hate crimes from happening to vulnerable communities. In the East Bay, the city of Fremont hosted its inaugural Lunar New Year event yesterday, celebrating the Year of the Rabbit. This event happened at the Downtown Event Center. Families were treated to a special performance by young local martial artists. Plenty of food trucks, vendors, and kids' activities were available for families at the event. In the North Bay, Marin County is opening a shelter for people experiencing homelessness in response to a freeze warning going into effect today. This is in collaboration with Marin Health and Human Services and Episcopal Community Services of San Francisco. The overnight shelter will open tonight at 5 p.m. It's located at the Marin Health and Wellness Campus. That is located at 3240 Kerner Boulevard in San Rafael. And Lisa, let's get a check of the weather now. I know you're tracking this frost and freeze warning coming later today, as well as potentially some spotty showers.
But that cold is going to stick around.
Okay, we need our winter coats.
Yeah.
We'll bundle up, Lisa. Thanks. Just ahead, it's another sign that the pandemic isn't what it used to be. A new change that could make dinner even more expensive in San Francisco. Okay, kickoff for the NFC Championship game is just around the corner. 300 49ers fans geared up for the big game Saturday morning yesterday by meeting former Niners running back Ricky Watters. He scored 3 touchdowns in Super Bowl 29. Watters signed autographs and took pictures with fans at Dick's Sporting Goods in Daly City. Fans we talked to are confident the 49ers will advance to the Super Bowl and win their first Lombardi trophy since 1995.
We're going to win the Super Bowl. That's it. We're taking it all, right? Yeah. Yeah.
If the 49ers beat the Eagles, Dick's Sporting Goods plans to have extended hours after the game for fans to buy the latest NFC Championship gear. Small businesses, especially restaurants in San Francisco, could see an increase in their delivery fees from sites like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. Since the pandemic started, delivery fees have been capped at 15%. Well, that cap will expire at the end of the month. ABC 7 News reporter Leah Melendez tells us what this means for your next order. Still to come on ABC 7 Mornings, an update in the brutal beating and death of Tyre Nichols. The Memphis Police Department making swift changes and disbanding their so-called Scorpion unit. Then rally for change. Youth activists pushing for gun legislation reform at the federal level.
Building a better Bay Area. Moving forward, finding solutions. This is ABC 7 News.
Good morning again, everyone. Thanks for joining us here. And we have a lot to get to this morning still, but we're going to start with another check of the forecast, Lisa, and a really cold day and few days ahead of us.
That's right.
Developing news. The police chief of the Memphis Police Department has dismantled the crime task force involved in the deadly beating of Sacramento native Tyre Nichols. There have been calls for police to shut down that crime unit for weeks. ABC News reporter Justin Finch reports from Memphis with the latest.
Overnight, the Memphis Police Department taking new actions after the release of.
And we're hearing more from Nichols' family attorney, Ben Crump, about other incidents with these officers that may have contributed to this decision. Here's what he told Martha Raddatz this morning on This Week. Crump says this man tried to report the encounter twice to the Memphis Police Department, but his calls were not returned. The unit was operating as 3 teams of about 30 officers, which claimed to target violent offenders in areas hit by high crime. Scorpion has been inactive since Nichols' arrest nearly 3 weeks ago. In Los Angeles, authorities say 3 people are dead and 4 others wounded after a shooting early yesterday morning in an upscale neighborhood. LAPD says it happened in front of a Beverly Crest home that they believe has been used as a short-term rental. Investigators did not confirm whether a party was happening there at the time. The 3 victims were found dead inside a vehicle. The other 4 people who were shot were standing outside. Police say they have no information on any suspects. A group of youth activists held a rally yesterday outside of Los Angeles City Hall in response to the recent mass shootings. March for Our Lives, a group made up primarily of students, was behind this event. It formed following the deadly school shooting in Parkland, Florida in 2018. It seeks to prevent gun violence by changing laws. This event was originally planned in response to last weekend's Monterey Park shooting that left 11 people dead. There have since been at least 3 more mass shootings in California. New this morning from the North Bay, a house fire turned deadly for 2 people. The first arriving firefighters successfully rescued 1 woman and 3 dogs, but 2 other adult victims were discovered, and CPR, unfortunately, was unsuccessful. The fire broke out in what the Sonoma County Fire Chief is calling a makeshift bedroom off the side of Highway 116, around 5 this morning. It has closed the highway temporarily. No word on the cause at this time. Steph and Aisha Curry are expressing their opposition to the addition of multi-family housing near their Atherton home. According to the Mercury News, the Currys have privacy and safety concerns. They sent an email to Atherton Mayor Bill Widmer expressing those concerns. The 2023 to 2031 housing plan would meet a state mandate to add more affordable housing into the city. A public hearing on a resolution to adopt the plan is scheduled for Tuesday, January 31st. Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin pinned a sweet message to his fans in his first public comment since collapsing on the field in Cincinnati. He sent a huge thank you to people for their unwavering support. The Bills' safety went into cardiac arrest after tackling Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins during the game on January 2nd. Hamlin collapsed and had to be resuscitated on the field in Cincinnati. The football star says now was the right time to speak since the Bills' season had ended and he has had time to recover. He thanked his coaches, his teammates, and medical staff at both hospitals where he split his recovery. Hamlin continued to share his appreciation.
It's just been a lot to process, but I can't tell you how appreciative I am of all the love, all the support, and everything that's just been coming in my way.
Hamlin's charity, Chasing Millions, received over $9 million in donations over the past 4 weeks. Happening today in the South Bay, people who get a COVID-19 vaccine can also get a free pass into the Children's Discovery Museum in San Jose. The vaccination clinic at the museum just opened a couple minutes ago at 9:30. The clinic will stay open until 12:30 this afternoon. Vaccines and boosters are available for anyone eligible ages 6 months and up. The Discovery Museum teamed up with the Stanford Flu Crew. According to their website, the Flu Crew is one of the largest medical school influenza prevention programs in the country. Still ahead on ABC 7 Mornings, inflation has created a market for all things rental chickens. Yes, you heard that right, rental chickens. Why these feathery friends are in high demand and how much it might cost you to borrow one. And here's a live look outside this morning. Oh, what a pretty view right now, looking at the Golden Gate Bridge, all nice and clear there. It's 9:37 on this NFC Championship game day. We'll check in with Lisa on the forecast when we get back. Okay, in the North Bay, the high price of eggs has many folks turning to a unique business which will rent you a chicken and a coop for a week or even months. It's a story we first brought you last summer, but inflation has ruffled some feathers, prompting new interest. ABC 7 News reporter Cornell Bernard has the story.
7 News.
Do what you got to do, Lisa, but it's not cheap. I get it. It's a lot of work, too.
Yeah, they produce some good eggs there. All right, good morning, everybody.
Thank you, Lisa. Also next, just give the rock to Brock. Can rookie 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy make history? ABC 7 Sports Director Larry Beal has a preview of today's matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles coming up in sports. Welcome back. Here is a live look from our ABC 7 roof camera. You can see it's a little windy out there this morning and also going to be pretty cold, especially later today, so bundle up. Let's talk sports now. Today's NFC Championship game is the biggest game of the season for the 49ers, at least so far. Can the red and gold take down the Eagles and punch their ticket to the Super Bowl? ABC 7 Sports Director Larry Beal has a preview of today's matchup in this morning's sports.
Good morning, everybody. For the third time in 4 seasons, the 49ers are playing in the NFC Championship game. The faithful, they have traveled across country, and they're making the city of brotherly love their home to the extent that, oh my, they dressed the famous Rocky statue in Philly in red and gold. With more on the Niners-Eagles title game, ABC 7's Chris Alvarez in Philadelphia.
The 49ers had Super Bowl expectations before the season began, but no one could have guessed that Brock Purdy would be leading them at quarterback at this point in the season. Now, he looks to become the first rookie quarterback ever to win the conference championship game and lead his team to the Super Bowl.
I just feel like it's the moments of, in between practice or, before you go to bed, thinking about, man, what an opportunity that we have. And, you can say it is just another game, but, man, there's a lot on the line. All of our goals and dreams of everything, are in front of us.
Who can do right longer? Who can continue to push through for the end goal? Do you want it that bad? Are you starving for it?
When you have the pinnacle of the game, which is the Super Bowl, dangling around your face, starvation has a lot to do with that. We all starving to win. Everybody want that ring.
Playoffs are different. There's more intensity. Teams are hungry. There's desperation everywhere. So everyone's fighting a little bit harder, fighting through the whistle a little bit more. But if you can still go out there and enjoy yourself and have fun, it does make it a lot easier.
After that Super Bowl 54 loss in Miami, George Kittle famously said, "I will be back." And now for the second season in a row, the 49ers are one win away from the Super Bowl. With the 49ers here in Philadelphia, Chris Alvarez, ABC 7 Sports.
Thank you, Chris. College hoops, Stanford and Cal on the farm. The Cardinal honoring the 1998 Final Four team. Leading scorer Arthur Lee was great on that squad. Low-scoring first half in this game. Stanford starting to pull away. Maxime Moreno and Juan led the way with 15 points. Stanford led by 11 at the break. They really turned it on the second half. Off the miss, Cal can't get the rebound. Michael O'Connell to Harrison Ingram. Look out with authority. Stanford crushes Cal 75-46. Great finish. Number 22 St. Mary's at BYU. Second half. Mitchell Saxon going strong to the cup. The hoop plus the foul. Gales with an 8-point lead late. That would evaporate. 2 minutes to go. Spencer Johnson is wide open for three. BYU takes the lead. 55-53. Final seconds. The Gales go to a freshman, Aiden Mahaney. Ice water in the veins. Good with a second left. What a shot. Gales victorious, 57-56. That's a wrap on morning sports. Enjoy the game. Go Niners. I'm Larry Beal.
The spring weather couldn't last forever, I guess.
Oh, no, back to winter quick.
Okay, Lisa, thanks. Okay, there's a very camera-savvy bear in Boulder, Colorado. Not only has the curious critter been drawn to a wildlife camera, it's also managed to strike a pose. And there are numerous selfies. You have to look at this. City officials set up the camera last year, hoping to learn more about the wildlife in the area, and they got quite the surprise. Normally, a bear might keep its distance from this, but this one seems to truly enjoy the spotlight. It's literally like Vogue. Strike a pose, strike a pose. Very cute. All right, one couple in Nevada had to crack open a shower wall to get to a trapped cat. You can see in this video the couple smashing a hole in the shower wall that the contractor had actually just fixed a few hours earlier after realizing their cat had gotten walled in by accident. They looked all over for Winston the cat and eventually heard faint meows in the bathroom. When they got to Winston, they had to then lure him out with some cheese. So thankfully, he wasn't too freaked out. It seems like he liked his little hiding spot.
Yeah, he wanted to be a part of the action.
Look at Winston.
Very cute.
All right. The break in the rain coming to an end. All right, Lisa, thank you. And thanks for joining us here on ABC 7 Mornings. I'm Liz Koritz along with Lisa Arjun. ABC 7 News continues at 5. Say it with me.
Go Niners.
Have a great